Tonight on UCentral News. The Senate is currently in session to vote on confirmation of Senator Mark Wayne Mullen for Secretary of Homeland Security. Find out more next. Spring-like temperatures have returned, but will they stick around? Elijah DePona will let you know. Big news, K-pop fans. BTS is officially back after a hiatus since 2022. Find out more about their comeback in social media. And March Madness is in full swing. Phil Rodriguez will have all the updates in sports. All that and more happening right now on UCentral News.
Live from Central Oklahoma, this is UCentral News.
Good evening, I'm Abby Avers.
And I'm Phil Rodriguez. Welcome to this edition of UCentral News.
The Senate is currently in session to vote on the confirmation of Senator Mark Wayne Mullen for Secretary of Homeland Security. This past weekend, the Senate held a session to discuss the Save America Act and focus on resolving the Department of Homeland Security funding amid a government shutdown. The Senate voted on Sunday 54-37 to advance Mullen. Once the final votes are in, and if Mullen is confirmed into the position, he will succeed Kristi Noem, who was announced for removal as Secretary on March 5th and will begin his role around March 31st, 2026. The voting results will be completed later this evening.
The University of Central Oklahoma offers many majors, but are pushing to add a new one. Elijah DePona has the story.
Hi, this marks the first pre-law mentorship dinner hosted by UCO. And with food this good, they got real croissants up in here. Makes me want to go on the pre-law track too. What do I gotta do? Just a few classes? Easy. This was an evening event held Thursday, March 12th from 6 to 8 p.m. in the Heritage Room, made for students who may be interested in law school or legal careers. I got the opportunity to sit down with Promise Hill, the administrative specialist and scholarship coordinator, to give me more insight on this event.
This is the first of many events that kind of connect students with UCO alumni and mentors who have been a part of the UCO College of Liberal Arts degree programs. And so we kind of wanted something kind of post-COVID that could connect the students and with professionals in the world.
Hosting a range of mentors from the field all over the legal landscape.
Yeah, so for this event, we actually got a good number of mentors for this first event. So we actually had President Todd G. Lamb to be a mentor, as he has a background in law. He has his JD. We had a district attorney. We actually had a few district attorneys. We had a few mayors from across Oklahoma and Oklahoma City. And then we had two students who are who go attend Oklahoma City University. They're law students. And then we had a judge. And so it was a good turnout.
With this marking the start to something more.
I really want to expand the pre-law minor. And so my hope is to kind of just grow this and kind of get more students interested in law and what the College of Liberal Arts offers in that. So hopefully we can just keep making it bigger and bigger and get more mentors and students just interested in having the conversations. I would love to just see the alumni come back and really just speak into those students and just see how many more pre-law alumni we can get. I think that would be great.
An event strengthening connections between the UCO students and the legal community. This is Elijah DePona with UCentral News.
With the success of this event, they hope to expand this kind of event to different studies throughout the UCO campus.
This week is iHeart Central Week here at UCO, and I went out to see what events the Student Programming Board has planned.
The Student Programming Board's annual iHeart Central Week is officially underway, and it all started this afternoon with a kickoff event full of energy and Bronco pride. The executive director, Leela Campbell, told me why this week is so important for students on campus.
So SPB puts on iHeart Central Week the week after spring break every year. We want it to be a way that students can kind of ease back into school life after having a whole week off. I know it can be really difficult and jarring, especially for freshman students who haven't had that switch. So we want to make it as easy and fun as possible.
In addition to music and interactive activities, students also could get a free iHeart Central Week t-shirt with this year's theme, Surfs Up Central. The board has a full lineup planned for the week, including fan favorite events like Build a Bronco.
We have 10 events this week. Today we have kickoff. We're doing our signature Build a Bronco event tomorrow. as well as a drive-in movie night. On Wednesday, we're doing goat yoga, another one of our signature iHeartCentral Week events, and we're doing a big pink tournament that afternoon. Thursday, we have a crafting event in the morning where you can make some air plants, and then we have our silent disco that night. And then Friday, we have another crafting event where we're doing sand art. And then we have a SPB Under the Sea pool party. We're partnering with Broncathon to support them. We're gonna have a dunk tank out there. We're gonna have some water inflatables, free catered dinner. And then Saturday, we're gonna volunteer at Big Event. And Sunday is our final event. We're doing a Ride the Wave 5K.
Students are also leaving their mark on campus by signing a brag board for the event. SPB tells me they're hoping to get 1,000 signatures across campus. And with several events still ahead for the week, the celebration is just getting started. iHeartCentral Week continues through the 29th, with events open to all students, encouraging everyone to get involved and show their Broncos spirit.
If you want more information on the events for the rest of the week, you can find SPB on Instagram. Well, spring break came and went, and so did that warmer weather. Elijah, is that going to return anytime soon?
Yes, it is. It's going to return. It's going to return with force. But let's head outside. So we look outside the current conditions. It's going to be 54 degrees out there, mostly sunny. We're going to have a northeast wind going 9 miles per hour. Humidity is around 46%, so you're still going to feel it in the air. It feels like 50 degrees out there. So if you do have a light jacket, maybe a windbreaker, definitely put that on because you're going to feel that wind. We look through the allergy index. We'll see that the tree is still up high, right? Still up in the sky. If you do have any allergies to any trees whatsoever, you are going to feel that. But don't worry too much. We do have some rain coming on, not this week, but next week. That should wash away all these, the tree, the wind, some of the grass. I don't know about the mold, though. I don't know about that mold, all right? Let's look at the severe weather. We'll see that the wind is going to be the highest we're going to be dealing with throughout all of our severe weather. You're going to be feeling that wind right now, but as we go throughout the week, we're going to have more wind chances and higher wind gusts going up to about 25, 30 miles per hour. You can see we have tornadoes, not really anything we need to worry about, especially hail and flooding. We don't need to worry about that at all this week. So we look ahead, we're going to have high winds and heat through the midweek. We're going to have low temperatures through the late week. I'm going to explain that to you a little bit later. We're going to have cool weekend temperatures. We're going to be sunny throughout the rest of the week. And a little fun fact for y'all, we broke some records during spring break around Saturday. It's very hot temperatures, but that's all I'm going to have for your first look. Right back to y'all at the desk.
Thanks, Elijah. Yeah, it was crazy hot this weekend. Wow. Well, New York's LaGuardia Airport is closed after an Air Canada plane collided with a fire truck while landing Sunday night. The pilot and co-pilot were killed, and 2 people in the truck were injured, according to local law enforcement. Lee Waldman is at LaGuardia with more.
A deadly collision rocked New York's LaGuardia Airport late Sunday night.
At approximately 11:40 last night, Air Canada Flight 8646, operated by Jazz, collided with the Port Authority aircraft rescue and firefighting vehicle on runway 4.
The Port Authority says 72 passengers and 4 crew members were on board the Air Canada flight, and 2 officers were in an emergency vehicle.
Sadly, the 2 pilots are confirmed deceased, and notifications are being made by Air Canada's care team.
According to the Port Authority, 41 people were taken to the hospital, some with serious injuries. Dozens have been treated and released. Audio from the control tower indicates the fire truck was responding to a separate incident on a United flight and was cleared to cross the landing moments before the collision. Passengers aboard the flight describe the terrifying moment of impact and how they escaped.
Everybody was hunkered down and everybody screaming. Pretty quickly, we didn't have any directions because the pilot's cabin had been kind of destroyed, so somebody said, let's get the emergency exit and get the door in, let's all jump out.
At LaGuardia Airport, I'm Lee Waldman.
U.S. Secretary of Transportation Sean Duffy said the FAA is sending a team to LaGuardia to assist the National Transportation Safety Board in its investigation. Canada is also sending its own team of investigators from their transportation board to assist their American counterparts.
CBS News Radio is shutting down amidst a new round of layoffs, according to the Associated Press. CBS News Radio will end service on May 22nd, despite serving an estimated 700 stations nationwide. Approximately 6% of the CBS workforce, or around 60 people, will be laid off. CBS News editor-in-chief Barry Weiss told staff, quote, "I want you to know that we did everything we could, including before I joined the company, to try and find a viable solution to sustain the radio operation," according to the AP. This is the second round of layoffs at CBS News in the last 6 months, according to The Hollywood Reporter. Well, like Elijah said earlier, sunny days are here and those high winds aren't going anywhere.
But it's been hot, it's been cold, it's been rainy, it's been dry. We'll find out more about what it's going to be like after the break.
It's time to explore, to come out and play. Our city is waiting, so what do you say? Whether daytime or nighttime, the right time is now. Finding those moments to make you go wow. Amazing new places to fit every mood. Shopping and dining. Did we mention the food? There are green parks and ballparks and water parks too. Museums, attractions, and also a zoo. The modern frontier is the friendliest place. Now is the time for your dreams to be chased.
It's the Roadway Replay.
Time for the lightning round, Brian. Let's rewind your drive to work. How far did your car travel while you checked your phone? 20 feet, 100 feet, the length of a football field?
100 feet.
Oh, sorry, Brian. In just 3 seconds on the highway, your car traveled the length of a football field.
Distracted driving? It's no game.
Hi there, I'm Elijah Pona with your full look of weather. Let's head outside. We're going to be out there with 54 degrees out there, mostly sunny. We're going to have a northeast wind going 9 miles per hour. Humidity is still 46%. It feels like 50 degrees out there, so you're going to need a jacket that's a little heftier than mine, but not too hefty. You're going to start sweating. As we look through the entire state, we'll see that, boom, we'll see that we are going to be a high 67 degrees, but we look through the southern part of the state, we'll see that we are going to be around the mid to low 70s. Or look at the northern part of the states, we're going to be around that 60-degree mark. So we're going to be a little colder as we look through the current conditions, but as we head through tonight, we're going to settle around 52 degrees. East wind going 9 miles per hour. Humidity is going to lower just a tad bit to 32%. There is no rain chances, though. No rain chances. As we look through tonight, we're going to be lower part of 52 degrees. As we look through the southern part of the states, we're going to see that we are going to be about equal with Ardmore with 51, Lawton 51, McAllister at 53. If we look through the northern part of the states, we're still going to have some of those lower temperatures, with Ponca City settling around 48 degrees, Woodward around 43. Don't forget the Panhandle, Guyman, around 40 degrees. As we look through the daily forecast for tomorrow, we'll see that we're going to start 7 a.m., a cloudy 7 a.m. with 53 degrees out there. The clouds are not going to go anywhere, though. Right? As we get to noon, we're going to get a little bit warmer, 67 degrees. And then as we get to 7 p.m., we're going to get to a mostly cloudy, but still a warmer 74 degrees out there. Let's look through tomorrow. We'll see that we're going to have a high of 77 degrees. Clinton, Woodward is going to be a little higher than us, 80 degrees. The Panhandle is going to be pretty hot with 85. And as we keep going throughout the week, we're going to see that Wednesday and Thursday is going to have one of our highest temperatures we're going to have all week. So we look through Monday, today, 67, Tuesday, 77, Wednesday, 92 degrees. It's because we're going to have a heat front coming through, I should say. And when we get to Thursday, we're still going to have a little bit of that heat. Once we get to Friday, that cold front all the way from the north is going to come down. All right, it's going to cool us down as we go throughout the weekend. We're going to be at 59 on Saturday and 72 on Sunday. But that's all I'm going to have for your full look of weather. We're going to have kind of a crazy weather pattern, as you can see. So I got to ask y'all up there on the desk, what did y'all do with your spring break? We had beautiful weather spring break. What did y'all do for it?
Yeah, so I was actually in Texas, but the weather was pretty much the same as here in Oklahoma, so it was pretty good.
Yeah, didn't do much this spring break, but we did take advantage of that heat on Saturday. We put a sprinkler under the trampoline for the kids, and they loved it. They had a good time. Thanks, Elijah. Well, coming up this weekend was a big hit for the box office. What movies made the top charts?
And an iconic K-pop group is back in business and earning their top charts spot back. Cadence Knoll has the details after the break.
Rugged, rough, built for the road ahead. Sometimes I feel like a shell of a man.
Commercials are fake. What you're feeling isn't. Call or text 988, Oklahoma's mental health lifeline.
Did you hear?
Todd's in the hospital.
Who's Todd? He got a collapsed lung from vaping. He thought it was cool.
Not cool.
Promise you won't vape, Emma. It can lead to a lifelong addiction, and we can't be friends if your lungs collapse.
Bogus.
Wacky sitcom teens aren't the best people to talk to your kid about vaping.
Hey, you got a minute?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
The University of Central Oklahoma grows and thrives. We move forward, daily living the Bronco way, being reflective of our neighborhood, community, history, and Oklahoma. This is what has made us who we are. Oklahoma's Metropolitan University, the third largest university in Oklahoma. This is where movement is. This is the University of Central Oklahoma.
Good evening, I'm Cadence Knoll and I have your social media updates. The weekend's big new movie soared even higher than expected at the box office. David Daniel has the early estimates for the top 5 films in theaters.
Do you know how to wash dishes?
7 years experience.
Okay, not gonna ask you to expand on that.
Reminders of Him fell to 5th place on $8 million in ticket sales.
Whoever wins runs everything.
Everything? The world.
Ready or Not 2, Here I Come started out in 4th place with $9.1 million. The Hindi action flick Durandar: The Revenge opened in 3rd place, earning $9.6 million in fewer than 1,000 theaters.
What's your name, Beaver?
Babel?
Hoppers lost its crown, slipping to 2nd place with $18 million for a domestic total of $120 million.
It is time go.
I think you mean go time, pal.
Project Hail Mary blasted off with $80.6 million, the best debut of the year and the best opening ever for Amazon MGM Studios. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
BTS is back. The K-pop sensation held their first concert in 4 years in Seoul, South Korea Saturday. The comeback concert was free and it is said to be the largest ever public concert in South Korea. The 1-hour concert is part of a promotional tour for the group's 5th studio album, Arirang, which was released on Friday and already breaking records. BTS kicked off the show with a performance of Body to Body, which is the first track of the album. They also performed some older hits, including Butter and Dynamite. BTS is now gearing up for a world tour, which will kick off next month and will visit 34 cities. It is set to conclude in March of next year. The group has been on a hiatus since 2022 as the members completed their mandatory military service in South Korea. Apple is rolling out a new security feature that works behind the scenes. It's called Background Security Improvements. It delivers small fixes without waiting for full updates. The security patches target systems like Safari, System Libraries, and Apple's WebKit engine, which includes Apple's Mail and App Store apps. The new security feature can be turned off in settings. Now back to the desk.
Thank you, Cadence. I'm definitely looking forward to catching Project Hail Mary. Yeah, absolutely.
Without a doubt.
Yeah. Coming up, the Thunder get a key contributor back tonight.
I got another tongue twister for you. And I'll have a rundown of all the biggest March Madness action that went down during spring break. Sports is next.
Sometimes it makes everything funny. Sometimes it's nothing to laugh about. Weed. It's funny like that. And unlike alcohol, with marijuana, there's no legal limit. So even if you don't feel high, you could get a DUI. No matter how much weed you've had, don't get behind the wheel, because driving impaired is illegal. And that's no joke.
Hooves up, roll Chos. Today's a great day to cheer on the Broncos.
Welcome back to the Pain Train.
Okay, Sean, here's your final question. A train hitting your car is the same as your car hitting a boulder, a brick wall, or a soda pop can.
A brick wall?
At a whopping 20 million pounds, a train will crush your car like a pop can.
Beating a train? It's a game you can't win.
Happy Monday, Broncos. Welcome back from your spring break. We've got a little bit of Thunder news and a lot of March Madness news, so let's get into it. First up, March Madness. We open in Oklahoma City, where the Nebraska Cornhuskers packed out the Paycom Center to take on the Vanderbilt Commodores for their team's first ever second-round NCAA tournament game. It was a close one, with both teams trading barbs before Vanderbilt freshman Chandler Bing missed a layup. No, he doesn't know. He's not named after that guy. Price Sanford snagged the rebound, took it down court, and laid it off to Braden Frager, who hits the go-ahead layup. With only 2.2 seconds left, the Commodores had a last-gasp effort. Tyler Tanner's half-court shot comes that close to going in before rimming out, setting the Huskers to their first-ever Sweet 16. Now, meanwhile, in San Diego, we had a close one between the Kansas Jayhawks and St. John's Red Storm from New York, which will come up here as soon as we're watching this poor Vanderbilt player be crushed by that shot just barely missing. But anyway, St. John's, Kansas, another Hollywood ending here. As the last 3 seconds of the game dripped away, Red Storm guard Dylan Darling slipped and glided his way through the Gators' D to hit his first shot of the entire game. He was 0 for 4 before this. Also notice that he shot with his right hand. Darling is left-handed. After the game, St. John's head coach Rick Pitino said Darling had asked him to run that specific play and that the coach let him, saying, quote, "I knew he could get to the rim because he hadn't done a darn thing all night." Now, meanwhile, in Tampa, the defending champs Florida took on the 9th-seeded Iowa Hawkeyes. Iowa took the lead early and barely let go, going up by as many as 10 in the first half. It was a hard-fought effort, both teams jostling for possession throughout, sometimes literally. But it was Alvaro Fulgueras who finished second in scoring for the Hawkeyes with 14 points and then hit the game winner, draining a three with 3.9 seconds left to make it 73-72 Iowa. Just absolutely stroked that shot in. The Gators went down the court and tried to set up a shot themselves, but the play just didn't work. They were basically holding on to the ball, looking for the pass. They could do nothing but protect the ball as Iowa swarmed and time expired, giving the Hawkeyes maybe the biggest upset of the tournament so far. It'll continue this Friday. Now, continuing on basketball, but turning to the NBA, our beloved OKC Thunder have some great news for tonight's game at Philadelphia. Star guard Jalen Williams has recovered from his hamstring strain and will be in the starting lineup. Big news. Last time we saw J-Dub was February 11th against the Phoenix Suns, when he lit up the scoreboard with 28 points in only 20 minutes before exiting with the same hamstring strain issue that had bothered him earlier in the season. Now, the timing couldn't be more perfect for the Thunder, not only in terms of the late season playoff seeding push, but also because the Thunder have a key absence in tonight's game at that guard position. So, note about that, it's because of this. Tempers flared over the weekend in Washington, D.C. as the Thunder took on the Wizards. In their game against Washington on Saturday, things got heated as Wizard Justin Champagnie and the Thunder's Jalen Williams began getting a little too friendly with each other with a shoving match. A.J. Mitchell came over to stand up for his teammate and instead of breaking things up, exploded after Champagnie made contact with his face, leading to a really ugly scene at Capital One Arena. Cason Wallace, Jalen Williams, and A.J. Mitchell were all ejected from the game for their roles in the fracas, but Mitchell is the only Thunder player who will be suspended for a game. Justin Champagnie, who pushed Mitchell in the face, was also suspended for a game. So that's all I've got for sports tonight. But Abby, how are we feeling since we finally get to watch J-Dub hit the court tonight?
I am so excited. I absolutely love J-Dub in more ways than one. So thank you, Phil. Coming up, a childhood dream of racing rubber ducks came true in Alabama. And Elijah DePona will have our last look at weather after the break.
The University of Central Oklahoma grows and thrives. We move to meet our students where they are and get them where they want to go. Over time, thousands of students have made the move to UCO. They come to pursue their passions and find their calling, to improve their lives, families, and communities. UCO moves and motivates students in and out of the classroom. Here, potential takes flight. Our students' curiosity ignites a spark that fuels transformation. Oklahoma's Metropolitan University, the university that hasn't stopped moving since 1890. In fact, we are gaining momentum.
This is where movement is. This is the University of Central Oklahoma.
Welcome back. In Alabama, 4,000 rubber ducks were dropped into a lake to race towards the finish line. The 9th annual Rubber Ducky Regatta took place in Foley Saturday. All proceeds benefit the Ronald McDonald House in Mobile, an organization that provides a home away from home for families. That lets them to stay close to their hospitalized children at little to no cost. The event was a huge success, raising $30,000.
You know, what's funny, Abby, is that's the exact same amount of rubber ducks that I use actually during the bath time. So that's interesting. Now, Elijah's got our last look at weather.
I know that tub stays full. Well, let's look at tomorrow's weather. We see we're going to peak at 77 degrees out there. The entire state is going to be raising up in temperature just because of that heat front I was talking about coming in the middle of the week. We're going to see it mostly on Wednesday and Thursday, with the temperature being 92 and 94 degrees respectively. But as we get to Friday, that's when that cold front from the north is going to come down here south, and it's going to cool us down immensely, having a high of 58 degrees, and we're going to go drop to 59 and then 72 as we keep going throughout the weekend. So we're going to have beautiful weekend temperatures, not a little bit too chilly, but beautiful temperatures nonetheless. That's all I'm going to have for y'all for your full look of weather, or last look of weather, I should say.
Thank you, Elijah. Man, Wednesday and Thursday is going to get hot.
Too hot. I guess I get to wear my new shorts. I'll do that. Yeah. I'll deal with that.
But it is a good thing that cooler weather is going to move in. So you're going to have to deal with it for a couple of days, Oklahoma. But
the up and down, I need a little consistency. You know, like, do I wear a jacket or do I wear shorts? What am I doing?
Well, unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today. I'm Abby Avers.
And I'm Phil Rodriguez. Have a good night, Broncos. We'll see you tomorrow.